Texas Rangers baseball is presented by AT&T UVerse TV. Now it is a very comfortably cool and breezy evening here under the clouds at Comerica Park in Detroit. Rangers beginning a brief 4-game trip as they take on the Detroit Tigers. And welcome in, everyone, along with Mark McLemore, Steve Busby. Glad you could join us for this Thursday night of Ranger baseball. Rangers and Tigers hooking it up in a 4-game series. Tonight it'll be Martin Perez going to the mound to see if he can't continue his good pitching of late, Mac.
Yeah, he has been pitching well. After that bad outing against the Yankees, he's definitely turned things around and been pitching very, very well, consistent, throwing strikes early in the count and finishing hitters off. It's one thing to get strikes early, but you have got to be able to finish them off, and that's exactly what Martin Perez has been able to do. In his 3 starts since losing to the Yankees, his ERA is 2.21. Just a couple of walks, 12 strikeouts. The opponents are hitting 230 off of him, and he's averaging 13.5 pitches, or almost 14 pitches per inning. And that's what you want to see, a guy who's going to be very economical and can get deep into ball games. So hopefully he'll be able to continue that trend tonight.
And he is very important to this Ranger club. He and Derek Holland inserted into the starting rotation. Derek got the win yesterday, and the Rangers have new life breathed into their starting rotation for the rest of the year. It'll be the Tigers and the Rangers coming up. Shin-Soo Choo and company getting ready to take their act on the road. Starting lineups and first pitch right after this. Has more live TV channels on the go than cable. By Budweiser, make a plan to make it home. And by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. A nice evening here in Detroit. Martin Perez and the Rangers getting set to take on the Tigers. Prince Fielders return to Comerica Park. We'll come back with the starting lineups and the first pitch right after this on Fox Sports Southwest. onto the field and check in with John Rennie.
Yeah, Buzz, you know how this works. Sometimes numbers can be very deceiving, and you can't always judge by the numbers. Martin Perez, 1-2 with a .529 since coming back from the disabled list, but the numbers don't tell the complete story.
It's not easy to do the same that I do last year. I know it's going to be up and down, this year, but I'm just trying to be the same guy. I'm just trying to throw more than 16 every time when I go out there, and I just trying to find a way, and I think I get it, and let's do to continue to stay in that way and continue to throw quarter stars.
Got a no decision, Buzz, last time out against the Mariners, but remember, 13 of the first 16 he faced were retired via the ground ball out. So Martin Perez doing a lot of things right as he recovers from Tommy John surgery. Guys, let's get it back up to you.
Yeah, John, thank you. We'll keep an eye on that tonight. And Mark McLemore is going to keep an eye on the Southwest Airlines Texas Rangers lineup.
All right, leading off for the Rangers, Delino DeShields. A couple of great plays defensively yesterday. Shin-Soo Choo will be at second, in right field. Prince Fielder, a rare day off. He'll bat third and DH. Adrian Beltre is at third. Mitch Moreland, a great day at the plate. Start that back-to-back home run. Will Venable will be in left field, newly acquired Will Venable. And Chris Jimenez will do the catching tonight.
And Alfredo Simon is he as called now, and gets things underway by firing strike one to Delino DeShields. Delino, a .263 average, a home run, and 25 RBI. Oh, the Ranger leadoff man. Inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Simon, 10-7 this year. That's a little bit misleading, though, because he has not been as good of late. He really can be overpowering, but consistency has been a problem for the big right-hander. He gets a ground ball out to short, and Iglesias triggers the throw across. That is out number 1. Alfredo Simon been struggling a little bit lately, especially keeping the ball in the ballpark. He and teammate Anibal Sanchez giving up a lot of home runs. Simon lately has given up about 1 every 5 innings, so almost 2 per ball game. But he gets the first out here as DeShields grounds out. Now Shin-Soo Choo. And Choo, one of the hottest hitters going in the American League. He is the Rangers' top hitter since the All-Star break. Choo takes low and inside. Not only is his batting average lofty since the break, he's got an on-base percentage of .449 in the 26 games since the Midsummer Classic. That's back and out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. Take a look at our Ford leaderboard tonight. As long as Shin-Soo Choo is up there, there's the on-base percentage leaders since the All-Star break. Michael Brantley of the Indians leading the way, along with Asdrubal Cabrera. Rangers just got through seeing Asdrubal Cabrera and how hot he was. Choo takes a strike to make it 1-2. Shin-Soo, 15 home runs, 54 RBI. And he lofts a fly ball to shallow center. Anthony Gose makes the grab. That is out number 2, and it will bring up Prince Fielder. And we'll take a look quickly at the Tiger defense behind Alfredo Simon. You saw Anthony Gose in center field. He is flanked by Rajai Davis and J.D. Martinez. Martinez in right field, a great arm. 13 outfield assists. That's tied for the most in the American League. Infield, Castellanos and Victor Martinez across the diamond at first base. Iglesias and Kinsler, and James McCann is catching. Well, here's Prince Fielder, his return to Comerica Park. After 2 years in a Tigers uniform, did not make the trip up here last year. Slaps that pitch out of play. He was injured when the Rangers came into town, so he didn't get an opportunity to come back, and this is his return. A lot of folks making connections again with Prince Fielder. A lot of fans, a lot of people in the ballpark.
Yeah, this has got to be a different day, kind of a strange day whenever you come back to a place that you played, whether you did well or not, you know, how the fans receive you. It's just a little bit different going into that other clubhouse. So I'm sure Prince has some kind of emotion going through him right now concerning that.
Simon with a 2-1 pitch. Sharp ground ball to Victor Martinez, who will take it to the bag, and Simon works a very quick 1-2-3 first. Rangers gone in order after a half inning here in Detroit. Rangers nothing, Tigers coming up on Fox Sports Southwest. To the mound, here's the lineup, brought to you by Mark McLemore.
Leading off for the Tigers will be Rajai Davis. He'll be in left field. Ian Kinsler is tied with Prince Fielder for multi-hit games in the Major League League. He'll bat second and play second. Miguel Cabrera is the DH. He'll hit third. Victor Martinez is the first baseman. He'll hit cleanup. J.D. Martinez is in right. He'll bat fifth. Nick Castellanos, .556 in his last series, 4 for 5 and a couple homers yesterday. He'll bat sixth and play third base. James McCann to do the catching, hit seventh. Jose Iglesias is the shortstop. He had a very good series, .545 in that last series. And Anthony Gose will play center field and bat ninth.
And our progressive scouting report on Martin Perez. He is settling in nicely after coming back from Tommy John surgery a year ago in May. Gaining consistency and confidence each time out. It's been fun to watch him, and it's been fun to listen to him, too. He is a completely different pitcher, much more sure of what he's doing and how he's going about things. It's great to see, and it will pay benefits to the Rangers as we go down the road. Rajai Davis, the veteran speedster, leading things off, takes strike one. Davis a .249 average as Martin misses a bit low. And John Radigan told you about the ground outs that Martin Perez, 12 of 13 outs that he recorded last time, were on the ground. And that's a big key for him. Martin gets that ball down, changes speeds effectively down in the strike zone. He will get a lot of ground outs.
Yeah, and that's when he's most effective, hitting the ball on the ground, especially with the defense that's behind him. You know, the Gold Glover over there at third. Elvis has been much improved at short. And Odor's great over there at second base since his return.
Good changeup. Rajai Davis almost screwing himself into the ground on that swing. 2-2.
You know, what makes that pitch effective again is being down in the zone. Here it is. Bottom just dropped right out of it.
Tigers come in at 28-30 here at Comerica Park. They have had a similar situation the Rangers had at home. Rangers have gotten theirs turned around. The Tigers still struggling with the home environment as far as their win-loss record. 2-2 pitch is rifled foul down the third base side, back into the seats. Now Martin got away with a little hanger there. Brad Ausmus, as some people have speculated around Detroit, on the hot seat. Manager here in his second year with the Tigers, and of course he went to the postseason last year. They expect a little bit more than what they've seen. Rougned Odor takes care of Rajai Davis pop out. That is one gone, and Ian Kinsler coming up. And we'll take a look at the Ranger defense, delivered to you by Chicken Express. As Mac mentioned, the defense much improved. And Will Venable will help too, because he only has one error in 144 chances when he was with the San Diego Padres. Deliner to Shields, Shin-Soo Choo fill out the outfield. Moreland and Beltran at the corners. Andrews and Odor up the middle with Chris Jimenez behind the plate. And there's Will Venable. Just joined the ball club today. Was activated off the non-active list after the trade. Beltran throws out Kinsler for out number 2. Josh Hamilton put on the 15-day disabled list with continued left knee discomfort. And it'll be interesting to see just exactly how Jeff Bannister is able to utilize now what appears to be a platoon setup with Will Venable and with Ryan Strasburger.
Yeah, I think it will be interesting, but I think that's exactly what's going to happen. It's going to be a platoon situation. Strasburger's done a good job against left-handers and even some right-handers that he's been out there against. So he's a great defender, and Will Venable, he's a veteran outfielder, and you don't become a veteran anything in this game unless you know what you're doing out there, and Will Venable's that guy.
Here is Miguel Cabrera, and he takes an off-speed pitch for strike 1. Cabrera back in after missing about 7 weeks with a bad calf muscle, strained calf muscle. And boy, the Tigers certainly missed him. He is the heart and soul of this offense, and you know, he brings in numbers that'll tell you how good he was before he got hurt. 354 with 16 home runs and 58 RBI. And against the Rangers, he has been a one-man wrecking crew. A 379 career average in 66 games and 66 RBI in those games.
He's got video game numbers. That's what those are. And, you know, going back to Brad Ausmus being on the hot seat, it's very difficult to win when that man is not in the lineup. And he missed a couple of months, and, you know, you can't replace him. You just can't. He's, you know, in my opinion, one of the best, probably in the top 3 best hitters in all of baseball.
Yeah.
So, you know, if he's out for 2 months, who are you going to go get? You going to go get one of the other 2 guys? I don't think so.
No, you sure aren't. And I'm right there with you, Mac. I think when he's healthy, that he is the best hitter in baseball that I can think of anyway. I mean, guys have hotter streaks, but as far as consistency, hitting the ball hard, there's nobody like him.
You know, putting together quality at bats. He very rarely swings at a bad pitch, and typically when he gets out, he's getting himself out.
Yeah,
and that's just very rare.
Now he's run the count full here to Martin Perez. Payoff pitch is low, and Cabrera takes the 2-out walk.
That's not a bad spot for him. I know you can't do it every time, but don't give in. Try to make him hit your pitch, especially with, you know, runners on base. If he doesn't bite, go ahead and take that trot down to first base.
Hey, you know, one thing, he's not going to steal a base, so that's
it.
He's going to have a couple of hits to drive him around. And Victor Martinez now getting a rare start at first base will step in. Martinez, the switch hitter, and he is up from his stronger side as a right-handed hitter this year, hitting significantly better than from the left side. 356 average as a right-handed swinger. And Martin Perez in with strike 1. You saw the numbers overall for Victor. He is a 245 hitter with 9 home runs and 52 runs driven in. And another guy that has been out of the middle of the order a bit this year once again. Had some knee problems. Gets straightened up by that Martin Perez fastball. Now the important pitch is, what do you follow that up with? You've gotten Victor Martinez's attention. You got 2 ways you can go. You can back that up if you think you can get that fastball in there again, or something down and away off speed, like there. That's pretty classic pitching.
You got to love that.
Yeah.
You got to love it, and he's throwing it for strikes. That's what I really like about it. He's not wasting pitches. He's using pitches to set up other pitches. The fastball in was to set that pitch up. So it's not, you know, a situation where you're wasting a pitch. He's pitching with a purpose.
The 1-2 from Perez. And he came back inside again with a good fastball. Yeah, that kind of combination, you go fastball up and in off the plate, you go change up down and away for a strike, and then you come back in with a fastball. There are not a lot of hitters around that are going to do much with that. I don't care how good they are.
They're not. They're going to pick one side of the plate, and right now Victor Martinez has the inside part of the plate picked.
Yep.
There's not much he can do with anything away right now.
Another 1-2 is coming. A little cutter or slider that Martin offered up. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now Victor Martinez with the Indians, the Red Sox, the Tigers. Quality hitter. If his knees hadn't given him so many problems, you would have seen some Hall of Fame caliber numbers from him. Still seen some great numbers. Another changeup. And the count remains even.
Buzz, we're sitting here, pretty much saying, okay, he's going inside, outside. Don't think for a minute that Victor Martinez doesn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
He knows. But it's one thing to know. The other thing is, can you do something with it? You know what I mean? Can you execute? Can you get to that pitch that you know is coming? That's the trick of hitting or pitching. You may know what's going to happen, but what can you do about it?
This is the 20th pitch of the first inning, and it's low. The count has gone full. Yeah, you're right, Mac. And we hear the term execution used so often, both as a pitcher and as a hitter. But that's what you're talking about. You're talking about, can the pitcher execute his game plan? And then can the hitter execute his game plan against that pitcher?
You're absolutely right. It's a game of adjustments. You've got to adjust. You may see it, catch that pitcher's, routine or, habits when he gets to a certain count. He likes to throw a certain pitch. But the thing is, what can you do with it?
Right.
You've got to be able to execute.
Cabrera on the move. 3-2 pitch grounded by Elvis out of the left center field. And Cabrera will head on over to third. So the Tigers now runners at the corners and 2 outs for their power leader, J.D. Martinez. Talked about Victor Martinez being hot from the right side. You saw why there.
Perez trying to go away down in the zone with a changeup. And Martinez keeps the head of the bat in that hitting zone for an awfully long time. And it looks like to me he was looking out there for that pitch, because if he's looking inside, there's no way he hits that. So Victor Martinez, a catcher himself, he understands what sequences to use and what a guy's out pitch is.
Right.
So he got Martin on that one.
Well, the Tigers here, an early jam for Martin Perez. 2 on, 2 outs. J.D. Martinez, who hit his 32nd home run of the year last night, takes low for ball 1. J.D. Martinez, a .289 average. Along with the 32 home runs, he has driven in 81. So Martinez having another stellar year. Had a very good second half last year. Really provided the Tigers with some great offensive numbers. Good changeup.
This is a guy that's just gotten better and better the longer he's been in the big leagues. The last 2 or 3 years, he's just gotten better. Power numbers, hitting. He showed some really good power early, when he first got called up. But he's just continued to get better. He's gotten more consistent. That's why he's got 32 home runs right now.
Perez with a 1-1 pitch. That is a bit low. Yeah, just to kind of give you an example, you go back to June of last year, the middle of June of last year, so the second half of the season, and this year. J.D. Martinez has the 3rd most home runs in Major League Baseball, 52 of them since that time. And only trailing Mike Trout and Nelly Cruz. That is a called strike right on the outside corner. 2-2.
And I bet if you ask somebody, who's 3rd in home runs over the last year and a half or almost 2 years, I don't think anybody would say J.D. Martinez.
No, I agree with you. Very quietly taking the lead here in Detroit. That's out of play. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now Martinez got selected to the All-Star team. That was his first Midsummer Classic of his career. Got Cabrera at 3rd, Victor Martinez at 1st. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. Low and in the dirt. And the count for the 3rd consecutive hitter now has gone full. most strikeouts as a hitter in the American League. J.D. Martinez second to Chris Davis. But both Chris Davis and J.D. Martinez do a lot of damage, too, when they do put it in play.
Those are definitely old school players, all or nothing pretty much.
Well, Chris Jimenez out quickly to talk to Martin Perez, see if he can't coax a final out in this first inning from his left-hander. 27 pitches already under the belt of Martin Perez. Ground ball outside, third and foul. We will try it again. It has been a long first inning, but if Martin can get J.D. Martinez, it will be all worth it. You got to put a 0 up on that board, get your ball club back in to try and do some damage offensively. J.D. Martinez waiting. Perez a check of the runners. Low ball 4. That'll load him up for Nick Castellanos. The Tigers, who as a team have the highest on-base percentage in the American League, along with the highest batting average. Their batting average 275, but their on-base percentage higher than anybody else also at 331, and that's a reason. They've taken 2 walks in this inning. They are more than willing to take those base on balls.
They are. I mean, they're, you know, if you look at the big guys that just took 2 of the walks, Victor Martinez, Miguel Cabrera and J.D. Martinez. These guys can drive the ball, but they're very patient. They're run producers, they're power hitters, but they're patient, so they're not just going to go up there and swing at anything.
Those rankings, first in average, first in on-base percentage, second in slugging. Extra base hits right on down the line. Runs per game is down, which you wouldn't typically see the rest of those numbers along with something other than a top run per game score.
Yeah, you would think that. So obviously it's not translating somewhere.
Well, here's a guy in Nick Castellanos who had it translate for him last night in Chicago. He had a 4 extra base hit night, 2 home runs, one of which was a grand slam against the Cubs. He takes strike 1 here. He had 2 home runs, 2 doubles, 12 total bases, 5 hits in his last 9 at bats. He in fuego would apply to him. 1 ball, 1 strike. And he's also hitting well against left-handed pitching this year at 356. Well, Martin Perez has gone back to the windup. He will see if he can't get his rhythm back from this motion. The 1-1 to Castellanos. Now 2-1.
Looks like he's fighting himself right now, Buzz.
Castellanos, 500 hitter with the bases loaded this season, too. Yeah, and this is a spot in the first inning. Whatever game plan you had in mind to go out there has all gone out the window right now. It's pretty tough to go out there and throw 32 pitches, not have things working your way, and stay with that game plan, stay that positive attitude.
Yeah, you got to make some adjustments somewhere, somehow.
Base hit to center field. Cabrera will score. Everybody else moves up 90 feet also, and the Tigers jump out to a 1-0 lead as Castellanos drives in his 59th run of the year with a single. Looked like Martin got that up and out over the plate, and Castellanos went right back through the middle.
Well, he's been on fire, so you've got to be careful, keep the ball down in the zone. Hopefully he'll hit it at somebody. Ball's off the plate. A few inches off the plate. It's a dangerous hitter that can do that.
Yep.
Takes that right back up the middle and drives in a run.
So all this has happened with 2 outs. You've had 2 walks, 2 singles, plating a run for the Tigers. Bases still are loaded, and James McCann, the catcher, will step in. Yeah, and you look back at this inning as Perez will work to McCann from the windup. I think Martin lost his aggressiveness when he decided to pitch very carefully to Miguel Cabrera. And then I'm not saying you can't pitch carefully to Cabrera. You have to. But when you go away from being aggressive the way you were for the first couple of hitters, sometimes it's hard to get that aggressiveness back to the next hitter. And that's what I've seen happen to Martin after Cabrera got on base. He lost Victor Martinez, went 3-2. Martinez singled, good hitter. J.D. Martinez then walked on a 3-2 pitch. And Castellanos with the RBI single. So Martin, it looks like to me, kind of lost that aggressive edge that he had going out there.
So is that like, when a pitcher intentionally walks a batter and then can't find the strike zone after that?
I think so, yeah. Well, damage is minimized. It all does happen with 2 outs, but that'll do it for the Tigers. They get a run on 2 hits and leave them loaded. 36-pitch inning for Martin Perez. We'll see if he can't regroup. 1-0 Detroit. And for the 2015 season, 20 game plans come with great benefits like a chance to purchase 2015 postseason strips, savings off of gate prizes, and a whole lot more. Visit TexasRangers.com/20 game plans to get yours today. But don't wait. Last chance to buy them is August 25th. Fan sporting is Ranger wear at the ballpark tonight. Nice to see that. Rangers find themselves down by a run as Adrian Beltre starts off the second. Be Beltre, Moreland, and Andrews. Adrian, 268 with the average. Takes high for ball 1. Beltre with 11 home runs now. 38 RBI. He's had a little bit of history with Alfredo Simon. 2 for 5 with a home run. That pitch in right at the top of the strike zone. Simon, a big guy at 6'6", about 265 pounds or so. Kind of an imposing figure out there in the mound, but he also has a great changeup, which is the two would not seem to go together. But no, he's got an eephus kind of changeup, eephus pitch, very slow. Castellanos at third. 1 off. One third baseman taking care of the other. Now Mitch Moreland will come up.
When you see a guy that big out there on the mound, yes, you think he's throwing probably about 100 miles an hour. Then when a guy gets up and throws a changeup like that, it's like, really? Yeah. I'm geared up for something, 95 and above, and I get 81.
I'm sure you've seen it, Mac, but it always kind of got me about guys that were huge. I mean, 6'7", 6'8", 6'9". Couldn't break a pane of glass so they stood next to it. And guys are swinging like they're throwing 150 miles an hour.
I mean, it's just, it's all an illusion, I guess,
yeah.
Because you just think a guy that big, that's what he's coming with. Trying to think of one now. Oh, I think I did. Yes, Chris Young.
Right.
He was that guy. Might have topped out 87, 88 maybe.
Now he tops out at 85 or 86. But he'll throw a high fastball guy by people still. You're swinging at it like it's 106. It's amazing. 1-1 pitch to Mitch. 2-1 now. Moreland, a .294 average. He is taking over the team leadership with 18 home runs, 64 runs driven in, 5 behind Prince for the top spot. Mitch, of course, part of that back-to-back-to-back home run procession for the Rangers yesterday.
You know, that was a lot of fun to watch, especially, you know, with the game being as close as it was at the time and getting late into the game. And seeing those guys, and, you know, the least likely of the three, obviously, Elvis, to cap it off, that was pretty good.
Boy, and he did, too. Elvis went up there looking for something that he could jump on, and he jumped all over it.
He's been doing that for a while now, not missing pitches. Even his outs have been really hard.
The 3-1 pitch. Kinsler knocks it down, recovers, throws not in time. And that is going to be an error on Ian Kinsler. Had a skimmer hit right to him and just muffed it. So Ian, a little lapse in concentration, lapse in focus.
Yeah, he kind of got his feet just stood still, really. You've got to continue moving. And that's only the 7th error on the year for Kins.
Now, this Tiger team has been very good defensively. They are second in fielding percentage in the American League. So 1 on, 1 out. Elvis up there now. Andrews at .255 with the average. Pitch up under his chin for ball 1. Elvis with his 6th home run yesterday. And that ties his career high. He had 6 in his rookie year back in 2009. Well, I think it's safe to say that Elvis is going to add a new career high in home runs for himself this year.
Yeah, I think it's a safe bet. I will definitely say that. Now, maybe a month and a half ago, I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
But definitely the way he's been swinging the bat for an extended period of time, I think he will.
And it looks like he's going to get in the same area RBI-wise that would establish a new career high for him. Maybe not quite this year, but he's at 46 right now and his career high up to 67. So it's possible, but he has a little more work to do there than he does to add one more home run. But I think going forward, all of a sudden you're looking at a shortstop now that could legitimately drive you in 75, 80, 85 runs in the right spot in the lineup. He lines this to left field, but right at Rajai Davis. Had to drop down to a knee to avoid the lights. And again, you talked about a hard out, Mac. That is a hard out.
You can't hit it much harder than that. He just can't guide the ball. You know, it was right at Davis. A couple steps left, couple steps right. Right there. Got a pitch, didn't miss it, drove it. Wow. All you can do is hit it hard.
Yep. So 2 outs now. Moreland back to first. Here's Rougned Odor. Rangers second baseman, a .276 average. Off speed, that floats in for strike 1. Rougned with 9 home runs and 40 driven in. .332 on base percentage. So Rougned doing a very good job of getting on the sacks. That was the one statistic that Jeff Bannister cited when Rougned was hitting second a lot. He said, hey, this guy can get on base for us. Well, it's hitting .348 in the last 17 games will encourage a manager to put you right in the middle of things. But then Chu got hot, and with the experience that Chu has, popped up foul that will reach the seats. And the count remains 0-2.
Yeah, I like where both of them are in the lineup. I think Chu is better suited to hitting that 2-hole. And then you've got Odor down in the bottom of the lineup who's getting on base, driving in runs when they're out there, and being on base for the guys when you flip that lineup back over.
Right.
So you've got to have that production. Hopefully you can have it spread throughout the lineup and not just at the top and maybe the middle, but it's great to have it at the end as well.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Yeah, and it's nice to have guys down at the bottom of the order, too. They not only get on base, but have the ability to drive in runs. But turning that lineup over with people on base becomes critical as the game goes on.
It's huge. It's huge because you're not that leadoff hitter doesn't always have that pressure. Hey, I've got to get on. When you've got other guys contributing, that's what you want. You want everybody contributing 1 through 9. It's not going to happen every day. It's got to be different parts of the lineup. But obviously you want it to happen as often as possible. And having somebody down there to do that consistently is what every team is looking for.
Mm-hmm. Odor stepping back in. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Moreland at first base. Rangers trailing 1-0 as we play in the top of the second. Simon with the next pitch. And another chopper foul. Alfredo Simon, originally property of the Phillies. He was signed as a non-drafted free agent back in 1999. Big right-hander is out of the Dominican Republic. Made his major league debut with the Orioles in 2008. So he spent a lot of time climbing that ladder. Cincinnati was really where he got things together. The Reds turned him from a reliever into a starter. He was 15-10 last year. Got him swinging. Went up with something off of it, and Rougned swinging through it. No runs, no hits, an error. 1 man left after an inning and a half. Tigers 1, Rangers 0 on Fox Sports Southwest. Hashtag Southwest Data Strong Fan, and you just might see yourself in one of our upcoming broadcasts. All this brought to you by the good folks at T-Mobile. And we will show you the selection for tonight's game a little bit later on. Now Martin Perez back out to the hill here to start the bottom of the second. Tigers on top 1-0, and Martin will try to regroup after a 36-pitch first inning. Jose Iglesias, the number 8 hitter, goes after the first pitch and hits one to fairly deep center, but a lot of room out there, patrolled by Delino DeShields. That is out number 1. And this is the ballpark. Looking at Delino out there, he almost gets lost. It's so far out there. But you can hit the ball forever into dead center field, 420 feet. And it may play longer than that on most nights. Maybe not tonight. The wind is blowing out pretty briskly, but that is a long 420 a lot of times.
It really is, and this is probably the ballpark that I've hit the most balls over a center fielder's head without a home run.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I get, for some reason, they'd play me over the left center, and I'd hit it to the right of the 420, and it would just roll, and I'd end up with triples.
That was kind of him.
That was terrible.
Oh.
I picked the wrong places to do it. I'm hitting the ball 410 feet, 400 feet in the air, which I didn't do very often.
Yeah.
And, you like those round trippers.
Yeah.
I did anyway. It didn't come too often. But, hey, I'll take the triples.
Sure. Anthony Ghost swinging through that Martin Perez pitch. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ghost, the speedster, down at the bottom of the order, a .259 average. 3 home runs and 21 driven in.
Buzz, we were talking about the center field wall being at 420. When they first opened the ballpark, the fences were back further, a little further than they are now. You definitely see that in left field.
Yeah, 25 feet in a lot of areas they came in, and I believe it was 440 in center.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff's telling me now it's 420. 420 is the spot it was, but in left center, I guess, was where the flagpole is out there.
Yes.
That was forever. That was a $10 cab ride at that time. Now it'd be a $20 cab ride. That's right.
It was a fun park to play in.
Remember Juan Gonzalez when he came over here didn't think much of it.
Did not like it one bit.
Juan took one look at this place and said, "No, I'm not staying here."
Way too far from me. Yes.
Our stage manager Jeff reminds me that Old Tiger Stadium was 440 to the center, and the double-decked 440. And Martin Perez racks up his first strikeout. He gets Ghost on an off-speed pitch. 2 up, 2 away, back to the top of the order for Rajai Davis.
Great pitch by Perez. Looks like he's made some adjustments in between innings. Jimenez sets up down away, and he hits it right there, dead center in the glove.
Now Martin just 8 pitches into this inning now, has a couple of outs. Rajai Davis popped out to Rougned Odor his first time. Into the hole. A jump throw by Elvis right there to get him. Elvis Andrus playing defense as well as we've seen him, I think. He is just tremendous of late. 3 up, 3 down. After 2, 1-0 Detroit. Well, the Rangers come to bat here in the top of the 3rd inning, trailing 1-0. It'll be the newest Ranger, Will Venable, to start things off. Venable to be followed by Chris Jimenez and then Delino DeShields. Alfredo Simon pours in strike 1. Venable just joining the club today, acquired a couple of days ago by the Rangers from San Diego. He had spent his entire 8-year career with the Padres. Kinsler handles that chopper on to first, and Venable 0 for 1 as a Ranger. He grounds out to start the third. And before Chris Jimenez comes up, let's send it back to Dana Larson for a Mazda game break. All right, Dana, thank you. Chris Jimenez back in the lineup after missing a couple of days, a little knee soreness. He takes a strike from Simon. Chris, a .276 average with a couple of home runs, 8 driven in. That is chopped foul. The count goes to 0-2. We continue to talk about, and rightfully so, the job that Chris Jimenez and Bobby Wilson have done behind the plate for the Rangers in the absence of Robinson Chirinos and Carlos Corporan. There has not been a fall off at all in what they've been able to get done, both defensively and offensively. Jimenez, waving at a breaking ball from Simon there. Second strikeout. There are 2 gone, and back to top of the order, Delino Shields.
Yeah, they've done a tremendous job, between the two of them behind the plate, driving in runs, coming up with big hits, and the thing that they were really brought here to do, call games and catch a good game. They've done that.
Yep.
But they've added some gravy to it with the offense that they've brought as well.
Now Delino steps in 0 for 1. He grounded a short starting off the ball game this evening. And he shows bunt, and that big breaking ball loops into the top of the strike zone. It's 0-1. Delino kind of snickering about that last pitch. That wouldn't have broken the speed limit out here on I-75.
Kind of lose the element of surprise when you square around to drop a bunt for a base hit, and the pitch comes in at 60 miles an hour. The third baseman's right there in your back pocket.
Yeah.
By the time you can bunt it,
he's moving in faster than the ball was.
Kind of defeats the purpose.
Now 0-2 now to the Shields. Delino with hits in 9 of his last 11 ball games. He's been getting on base at a pretty steady rate for the Rangers. Almost dropped his bat on top of that. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Simon was trying to go in with that, and I think Delino was looking in for that.
Now the right-hander back with a 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. We've talked a lot about things that Delino has done this year and improved upon and come of age in, and one of them is base on balls. He is leading the team since the All-Star break. 16 walks. That's 9th in the American League for anybody.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It's great for a leadoff hitter to have that kind of an eye. He doesn't worry about being down in the count or behind in the count. He just goes up there and looks for a pitch. If it's not to his liking, he'll take it. He'll take that walk, which typically turns into a double.
Mm-hmm. Simon back to him. Dropped down with a breaking ball. Left it high and tight. The count is full. Well, Delino trying to get on base any way he possibly can with 2 outs here. Shin-Soo Choo will follow him in the order. Rangers still looking for their first hit tonight. They've had 1 base runner on an error. That was last inning. Simon with a payoff pitch. We'll reset and do it again.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the reasons he ended up getting that center field job is because he was getting on base consistently. Leonis Martin was having trouble, taking pitches or walking, being a little bit too aggressive for a leadoff hitter and just not getting on base with the consistency that a leadoff hitter needs.
Mm-hmm. Simon peering in for the signs. McCann flashing out several of them. How rare is it, Mac, for a young hitter to be able to do this, to be able to eyeball the strike zone that way?
It's pretty rare. Most guys want to get up there and swing, especially when they get 2 strikes on them. They get a little nervous. Say, hey, I've got to swing it.
Now back-to-back strikeouts. Rangers again gone in order. We have finished 2.5 here at Comerica Park. Alfredo Simon and the Tigers leading 1-0. Texas Ford dealers. The best deals are happening now only at your Texas Ford dealer. Ford is the best in Texas. Well, a cloudy and seasonably cool evening here in Detroit. Nice crowd on hand for this Thursday night, Rangers and Tigers. As the Tigers come to bat in the bottom of the third, Ian Kinsler, Miguel Cabrera, and Victor Martinez, the first three to face Martin Perez. Kinsler in a ground ball to Beltre at third, his first time up. A strike nibbles on the inside corner. Ron Culpa, by the way, calling the balls and strikes tonight. One and one. Kinsler, one of the hotter Tiger hitters. He had 366 for the month of July. He hasn't cooled off much here in the month of August. Takes that pitch low. Kinsler had his third career 5-hit game on Tuesday night over at Wrigley Field. That was a quick two-game series. They played home and home, but Wrigley was the back end of that two-game set. Tigers scored 25 runs in those two games. Kinsler pops out here for out number one. Next will be Miguel Cabrera. On Tuesday, August 25th, the Rangers will feature a throwback giveaway. The first 15,000 fans, 14 and older, will get a Giovanni Gallardo powder blue t-shirt thanks to Dr. Pepper, Albertsons, and Tom Thumb. Visit TexasRangers.com or call 972-RANGERS to get your tickets. One up and one away. Here is Cabrera, who started that two-out uprising with a walk in the first. Trying to take that ball the other way and kind of got crossed up. Martin Perez coming inside, and Cabrera couldn't drop the head of the bat on it. Oh, 1. Cabrera currently a 4-game hitting streak that's seen him go 8 for 17. It's a 471 mark. And again, trying to inside out that ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Rangers not in an extreme overshift, but they are definitely favoring the left side of the diamond on the infield.
Yeah, I don't think you can go into an extreme overshift with Miguel Cabrera. He's such a good hitter. You see he's trying to go the other way because there's that big hole over there on the right side. and we've seen him do it for years. He's very effective that way. He can take the ball out of the park that way. He hits the ball pretty much where the pitcher pitches it, and then there are times when he'll get that fastball inside that he can pull if he wants to, but he'll shoot it the other way.
Now, there was a game I remember him having at Globe Life Park where he hit 3 balls out of the ballpark to center, and they were all in different locations on the plate. There he lines one to right. Chu in a hurry, not going to get there. It is down for a hit, and Cabrera with a long single is aboard with 1 out.
That's why he's so good.
Yep.
Took that inside fastball and just said, let me dunk it into right field instead of trying to pull it, maybe pull it to Beltre. I've got a lot of room over there in right field, and there you have it. You see Jimenez setting up inside, a little bit out over the plate, and he just takes his hands the other way. He's not thinking about pulling anything.
That is a quality hitter.
You know, another one of those guys that you do not like to see come to the plate if you're the opposition.
Right.
Doesn't matter if there's no one on or not. You do not want to see him come to the plate.
No, Cabrera aboard for the 2nd time. A walk, now a single, and here's Victor Martinez, who singled his first time. Takes strike 1. Victor Martinez now at 248 after that base hit in the first. 6-game hitting streak for the veteran switch hitter. Good off-speed breaking ball. 0-2. Martinez, we mentioned, on the disabled list again this year with some knee problems. Came back and has hit 261 since his return. 53 games he has played in since coming off the DL. Now Victor Martinez missed the entire year a couple of years ago with knee surgeries, plural. Started out as a catcher, and that took its toll. He was one of those guys that probably wasn't going to be able to catch because of his knees his full career. Just able to get a piece of that pitch. Martin really pulling the string. And Victor Martinez just able to nudge it foul.
He reached as far towards the mound as he could with that swing there.
Because of his knees his full career. Still 0-2. If you're looking for a double play, he's an ideal candidate if you can encourage him to hit the ball on the ground. Into the left field corner. Venable will go over and play the carom. Cabrera will stop at 3rd. Into 2nd. Victor Martinez with a ringing double. So Victor Martinez 2 for 2 tonight. A single, now a 2-bagger.
Perez left that pitch up in the zone a little bit too high. Trying to go down and away. Comes back out over the plate. Martinez didn't miss that one. Drills it into the corner for a double.
So 4 hits now for the Tigers. Runners at 2nd and 3rd. Just 1 out. J.D. Martinez will be the hitter. The Rangers are going to play the infield in. Figure already down by 1. They'd like to cut off this run if at all possible. And they don't have to play all the way in because Cabrera at 3rd doesn't run that well. You can play back a little bit, can't you, Mac?
Yeah, this is where, you know, I don't mind the infield playing back when you've got a runner that doesn't run very well. The runner at second base doesn't either. Typically, with runners at 2nd and 3rd, this early in the ball game, you kind of want to, hey, just, okay, we'll give up a run. It's only a 2-run lead. But if you're in, that creates a little bit bigger hole, and if it gets through, then a 2-run score. But with both runners that are on, really aren't that fast, I don't mind the infield playing in or being halfway.
Check swing by J.D. Martinez. Takes ball 1. And the appeal down to 1st, and Ryan Knight's it now. He didn't swing. J.D. Martinez with a walk his first time up. Top RBI man on the Tigers club with 81 of them. Ball 2. J.D. Martinez currently a 4-game hitting streak. He has gone 7 for 17. Boy, you look up and down this Tiger order, a lot of guys on streaks about that length. That is in the dirt, and the count goes to 3-1. Martin Perez being extremely careful, and rightfully so, with a guy like J.D. Martinez at the plate. Got first base open, but you've also got a guy that's very hot in Nick Castellanos in that on-deck circle.
Well, hopefully they can get Castellanos up to the plate, even though the bases be loaded. He's got 17 ground ball double plays on the season, so if Martinez can keep the ball down, he's got a good chance to get out of this unscathed.
The count now is full to Martinez. Well, Perez had a pretty quick second inning as far as pitches are concerned. Back up now. It's been a little more of a struggle in this third inning again. Cabrera getting his lead from third. Victor Martinez away from second. Now Chris Jimenez wants to go out and find out what Martin's thinking.
Well, this is a time and a hitter that you don't want to make a mistake on. So the pitcher and catcher have to be on the same page with what they're going to throw, where they're going to throw it, in order to get J.D. Martinez out.
This year, J.D. Martinez a .308 hitter in these situations. Payoff pitch on the way. Check swing. It's inside and low for ball 4. That will load him up for Castellanos. And this is the same situation that Castellanos came up in the first inning, except then there was 2 outs. Now there's only 1 out. And Mike Maddox will go out and have a chat with Martin Perez. Well, Perez had 36 pitches in the first inning, and that was significant because he came back with a 9-pitch second inning. So he was at 45 starting this inning. He's almost up to 20 now. He's at 19 at the moment and only 1 out.
Well, one good pitch, and he can get out of this inning with a ground ball double play. Castellanos has a tendency to hit ground balls, so he doesn't run very well. And Perez can still get out of this inning.
Yep, and that's exactly, I'm sure, what Mike Maddox, part of the message that Mike Maddox took out there. He said, okay, we need you to get a double play. Now, how are you going to do it? And I'm sure they came up with a game plan on what they want to try and do to Castellanos.
Keep it down.
Yep. Castellanos got a pitch off the plate outside and singled it to center field his first time up. So he is now driven in 59 for the year. Cabrera and the 2 Martinez. Victor at second and J.D. at first. Perez from a stretch and misses low and inside for ball 1. Fourth most in the American League is what Mac was talking to you about, those 17 double plays. Martin Perez trying to make it 18. Two and 0. Now this is where you really have to battle yourself, because you're remembering on one hand what Castellanos did to you last time. He got him on the scoreboard. You're also trying to throw quality pitches that you may not be comfortable throwing in a bases loaded situation. It's really easy to get away from just saying, okay, here's the pitch I want to throw, letting it go, and trusting that's going to go where you want it to when the bases are full. Ranger defense at double play depth. The 2-0 pitch coming. He got the ground ball, but Cabrera wasn't going to turn it down at third. 2-1. That's Castellanos in last night's game, which apparently went forever in Chicago. The Cubs and the Tigers played a lot of baseball over the last 2 days, but Castellanos had a huge night. He had 5 RBI in that ball game. He has 1 here tonight. And he takes that next pitch low. It's 3-1. So that takes all the doubt out of what you have to do. Don't have any place to put Castellanos. Got the bases loaded with 1 out. Castellanos hitting 6th in the order. James McCann, the catcher, will follow. Perez sets at the belt. Fly ball to right field. That's sending Chu back. He has room at the edge of the warning track. Chu makes the catch and drops the ball. And the first base umpire goes out and immediately signals. Brian Knight, the first base umpire, signals that the ball came out of possession on the transfer. So it is an out, but it is a sacrifice fly, and the Tigers lead it 2-0. Cabrera scores. Victor Martinez tagged at second, advanced to third. And now Brad Ausmus is going to go out and talk to home plate umpire Ron Kopa.
Yeah, Chu's got that ball under control. It was definitely, on the transfer. But Ausmus has to go talk about it. He has to look and see, hey, is this something we need to challenge, especially with in a bases loaded situation like that.
And you're talking to Ron Kopa, waiting for word from the Tigers dugout as to whether that's worth a challenge or not. Brad's saying, well, are we going to challenge it or not? What's the deal here? But nope, we're not going to. Okay. So they're going to let that stand as an out, a sacrifice fly for Castellanos. And that makes it a 2-0 Tiger lead. There are 2 outs with runners at the corners for James McCann. McCann hit a ground ball to second that ended the Tiger first inning. Got Victor Martinez at third, J.D. Martinez at first. Ball 1. McCann a .272 average as he faces Martin Perez. McCann, a rookie catcher. Last 36 games, McCann has hit .296. And Alex Avila. It's become more McCann, I guess, than Avila lately. He's really played his way into the #1 catching role. But Avila, a left-handed hitter. So McCann, who started out facing the left-handed pitchers, now has pretty much taken over. Avila struggling, hitting less than 200. See the breakdown against lefties. McCann extremely good. 2-0. Beltre cuts it off. He'll go the short way for the force, and that'll do it. Well, after all that, the Tigers are limited to 1 run. They had 2 hits, and they strand 2 after 3. Detroit 2, Texas 0.
Cold Hard Fact, presented by Clean Crisp Coors Light. And here's the Cold Hard Fact. Comerica Park opened on April 11th of 2000, and the first batter of the game was our own Mark McLemore, who was then with the Seattle Mariners. Our Coors Light Cold Hard Fact. Buzz and Mac, back up to you guys.
All right, John, thank you. Yeah, Mac, I had to ask Mac this afternoon that whether he had the take sign on in that first pitch. He said he did. It was a cold day. He didn't want to. Lou was managing then, right?
Lou was managing.
Yeah, I put that
yes.
take on. He said, I don't want this guy hurting himself.
I do not want to lose any fingers, not that day.
Brian Moeller, I believe, was the opening day starter that year for the Tigers.
And he threw a nice heavy bowling ball.
Yeah. Shin-Soo Choo starting off the Ranger fourth inning. It'll be Choo, Fielder, and Beltre. Rangers trailing 2-0. Alfredo Simon with the 0-2 pitch. Now 1-2. And you said that that ball game was a little bit, that day was a little chilly here in Detroit?
Very chilly. Very chilly. We all had ski masks on that day.
Yeah, the official game time temperature that was in the box score was 34 degrees, but apparently you didn't think it was that balmy.
It was much colder than that. Wind chill was not a nice day to play baseball, that's for sure.
I can't imagine. April in Detroit is usually such a nice time of the year up here.
Yeah, right. If I remember correctly, I think there was some sleet coming around that day too. They were actually thinking about canceling it, but with all the festivities going on the whole week, they were like, no way we can do that.
Rajai Davis over into the alley and near the warning track hauls in Shu's long fly ball. That is out number one.
Well, hey, Buzz and Mac, we've got some videotape from April 11th.
Oh, boy.
A flashback, 2000. Look at there. It was a nasty-looking day, and you're right. 34 was the official temperature. Here's the first ever Major League at-bat. Mark McLemore in Comerica Park. And look at Mac. Do your hands still hurt from hitting the ball that day?
I'm surprised he threw one up in the air. See, there's a 400-foot hit right there.
Yeah, you almost got it over his head there.
Almost.
You look good there, buddy.
Yeah, you can't be hitting the ball out toward the flagpole out there now. That's still in the same place that it was.
That is.
Man.
It used to be in play, though. But,
yeah, it was.
Tried to get a little, pinball action going, but story of my life. To the warning track, that's it.
Yeah, Prince Fielder, a towering pop-up. Right out in front of home plate. McCann on top of home plate makes the grab. 2 gone. No, fly out and a pop out. 2 gone. Man, Adrian Beltre coming up 15 years ago.
Wow.
There is the.
It's been that long.
Woo. Yeah. You look the same today as you did then, Mac.
Oh, looks can be deceiving. I don't know. I think I kind of ate that guy. He's gone. He's in here somewhere.
That picture was photoshopped or something.
Thanks, Buzz. Good looking
right.
out. I appreciate it. I know my kids will laugh when they see that.
Adrian Beltre hit a ground ball to his counterpart, Nick Castellanos, down to third, his first time up. Down in the count here, no balls and a strike. Again, the Rangers are still looking for their first base hit. 1-1. Beltre coming off a good homestand. He went 8 for 24, a .333 mark in those 6 ball games. Rangers winning 5 of the 6 at home. Adrian with hits in 7 of his last 8 ball games. To center field goes, got a good break on it. And that is another 1-2-3 inning. That is 8 straight again, set down by Alfredo Simon. Rangers gone, and after 3.5, Tigers 2, Rangers nothing. Sports Southwest is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by Mazda. In every car we make, you'll see why driving matters. Now, the Detroit Tiger. Beautiful Bengal Tiger up there on top of the big scoreboard out here at Comerica Park. They are bookend Tigers up there on either side. Jose Iglesias starting things off in the bottom of the 4th inning. And Martin Perez with the changeup floating in, evens the count at 1-1. Iglesias flied to center as he led off the 2nd inning. Tigers 2 runs on 4 hits tonight. Good breaking ball by Martin. 1-2. Rangers, no runs, no hits, no errors. They've had exactly 1 base runner through the first 4 against Alfredo Simon. Cue shot foul. It remains a ball and 2 strikes.
Well, I think things are going to change the next time around. They've half of them have seen him twice. So I think they'll make some adjustments and kind of figure out what his pattern is and what he's trying to do. Hopefully they can get that done.
Ouch. Right off the fist out to Rougned Odor. Iglesias out for the 2nd time. 1 gone. Anthony Ghost coming up. So going back to that first game here at Comerica, if Iglesias had hit a ball like that, would he have had any fingers left on his hands?
I think he would have ran right into the dugout looking for the doctor. Not the trainer, the doctor. We need to do something.
Goodness gracious. Yeah, it used to be on cold days, boy, and you'd get one off the hands like that, especially up north up here,
right.
Here in Cleveland and Chicago, where it's kind of damp anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You'd see guys that just would go completely pale with pain. Be checking their glove, their batting gloves, make sure their fingers were not in the glove itself.
Yeah, and I used to wear double batting gloves on cold days like
that. Did you?
Yeah, just in case, because I was known to hit a few off the end of the bat or get jammed occasionally, and that is not a good feeling in cold weather. It's not a good feeling when it's 100 degrees out,
right?
Let alone cold weather.
You get a little vibration going. Kind of like a cold slap in the face every once in a while.
That's just not good. I'm trying to think of a way to describe it to people that haven't done that with a baseball bat. Maybe if you take a pipe and just hit it into the ground, that might be equivalent to it.
I always thought, to me anyway, it felt like sticking your fingers into a bucket of ice water, where you'd get that kind of tingling real quick, and then all of a sudden the pain would set in. But that was just me. And Anthony Ghost gone on strike. 2nd time that Martin Perez has punched out Ghost. Those are the only 2 strikeouts for the Ranger left-hander. 2 gone. Rajai Davis coming up. We're going to remind you very quickly that on Friday, August 28th, the Rangers will take on the Baltimore Orioles. And fans who stick around after the ballgame will be treated to a post-game fireworks show that's set to music highlighting the history of pop music. Fans using the online coupon code FIREWORKS at TexasRangers.com/specials can get seats for $14. And seats are going fast, so don't wait. Get yours today. Rajai Davis has popped out and then been out on a nice play by Elvis Andrus on a ground ball. And Martin Perez, well, every other inning he has been really good, and he's faced the same people.
Yeah, I'm not understanding why that is. Maybe he's trying to be a little bit too careful to the middle of that lineup.
Yeah, could be. And it's both times it started with Miguel Cabrera as the first hitter who got on either by a walk or a base hit. Once with 2 outs, once with 1 out, and that's led to problems the next 4 hitters. Yeah, and I think that is. I think it's you think your way into being less aggressive than you want to be. 1-2 pitch coming. In and out of the glove on the foul tip. Chris Jimenez not able to hang on to it. Rajai Davis, the veteran speedster, has more stolen bases than anybody in baseball the last 7 years. Got him swinging here. You don't have to worry about the stolen base. You can strike him out. A 1-2-3 inning once again. 3 strikeouts for Martin Perez. After 4, Tigers 2, Rangers nothing.
Park, and of course I grew up in the Detroit area, so a trip back here is a food fest for me. I actually made my first food stop really before you guys were even asleep. Did you notice I didn't eat much on the plane? That's because I was headed right across the street from the hotel to this place, the Lafayette Coney Island. This is a place, since 1914, they invented the Coney Island. That is a Coney Island. A hot dog with chili and onions on there is called a Coney Island. We aren't sure why that's true, but that is a Coney Island invented there. And I've got to tell you guys, I had those about 11:30 last night, and you can tell I had them at that hour at night because, look, oh yeah, you can only get Labatt's beer. It's a Canadian beer. It's right across the river. You can only get that here. And I had those a lot after games in high school and college, and I slept with no problem. I can't say the same about my stomach last night, guys. I was awake most of the night waiting for my stomach to explode.
Well, and now you say you had those after games in high school and college. With the Labatt's or with the Coney Island hot dog?
My question exactly.
Yeah. No, that was not the Labatt's. It was just the Coney. Although by college, I might have mixed a Labatt's or two in during my college days. So.
Hey, we had to check, man. We had to check.
Yeah. That's right.
Oh. Yeah, I'm not sure at 11:30 at night that I'm going to get the Coney Island going.
I'm not sure I'm going to get it going at any time.
It'll talk to you for a while.
I don't need that. Nope.
Mitch Moreland leading off the Ranger 5th inning. Moreland has been the only Ranger to reach base, and that was on a ground ball that was booted by Ian Kinsler for an error. So Mitch starting off the Ranger 5th inning. Rangers trailing 2-0 to the Tigers. That ball is shot. Oh, Victor Martinez, a great play diving to his right to rob his counterpart of a base hit. I'm not sure you can hit a ball any harder than Mitch just did.
Yeah, he crushed that one. Wow.
Pretty good play for a guy who isn't a first baseman by trade anymore.
Not bad at all. And the defensive alignment was a little bit strange. But Nick Castellanos all the way across from third base and actually had him at second base in between Ian Kinsler and Victor Martinez. So that was a little different.
So one very hard out. Here's Elvis. Elvis also a hard out his first time up. He lined Rajai Davis in left field.
Now, the Rangers have had some pretty good at-bats. Saw Adrian Beltre line out to left. Elvis lined out to left, and then Mitch with that hard one to first.
Elvis thinking about dropping a bunt down. He had Castellanos playing back deep, so if he'd gotten that down, it would have had a good shot at beating it out.
Yeah, he got a lot of area to play with there.
But now Elvis down to the count. No balls, 2 strikes. Elvis waiting. Simon back up on top of the hill, the big right-hander. Deals the 0-2. Boy, he tied up Elvis. Like a Thanksgiving turkey. That is out number 2.
Simon going down and in. Ball ran in off the plate. Kind of caught Elvis in between.
No, 10 straight now sent down by Simon and Rougned Odor. Odor had a strikeout that ended the Rangers' second. And he lines a base hit to right field. Pitch stayed up, and Rougned is going for 2. The throw by Martinez, and he is safe as he gets the hand in onto the tag from Iglesias.
Nice play by Ruby, being very aggressive. 2-0 ball game. If he sees any one of those outfielders out there loafing to either get to the ball or get rid of it, he's going to continue to run. So that's a great play. And yes, it's a great play because he made it. You see him here. He's got the right hand going. Now he pulls it back, gets that left hand in there.
Yep.
Safe.
Sure did.
Iglesias didn't say a word. He knew it as well.
It's a little okey doke.
That's it. And what you'll see a lot of players do, middle infielders, even third basemen, well, actually all infielders, a lot of infielders, they do it. They try to tag the runner. So they're reaching for the runner, and that's exactly what Iglesias did. And you don't need to reach for the runner because he's coming to you. You catch the ball, you put the glove in front of the bag because he's going to get there. Sooner or later, he's going to get there, and that's what you've got to protect instead of reaching out for him because something like that can happen to you.
So Rougned Odor with the double and 2 outs. He is in scoring position. And Will Venable with his second Ranger at bat takes high and outside for ball 1. Venable rounded out to second. That was back in the 3rd inning. Venable coming over from the San Diego Padres. Marcus Green, an outfielder catcher, 21-year-old for the Rangers, went to San Diego along with a player to be named later. Venable this year in these situations, runners in scoring position, had a .345 average with the Padres. He's got a chance here to impress his new teammates. Odor at second, 2 balls, no strikes. 3-0. Venable hitting 8th in the order. Trying to get aboard to put the tying runs on. Chris Jimenez is waiting in the on-deck circle. Anthropology major at Princeton. I don't know. Conversations, I think, between he and I are not going to get real deep, I don't think. There's a strike. He was an all-Ivy League selection in both baseball and basketball, along with being a brainiac.
Pretty good little athlete.
Yeah.
Got a brother that played football. Can't remember what D1 college he went to, but he was a safety. Very good college player. And his dad, Max, played in the big leagues for a little while.
Sure did.
Teammate of mine.
Was he?
Yeah. Had a little bit of time together.
Yeah, Will take it all the way. That runs the count full. Venable's numbers with San Diego, a .252 hitter in his career. 8 seasons with the Padres. That's the only team that he had been with. Padres took him in their draft. 7th round, the 05 draft. Understand that Will's brother Winston is a professional football player up in Canada, playing for the Vancouver team in the Canadian Football League. 3-2 pitch. Low ball 4. Looked like Alfredo Simon might have been a little preoccupied with Rougned Odor back there, trying to throw Odor off, and we got a little bit more about Will Venable.
Been around 8 years, all with San Diego, career .252 hitter, 81 homers, so he's got a little bit of pop. 300 RBI on his career. This guy can play all outfield positions, and what I really like is that one error in 144 chances. So this guy is he's going to be a valuable piece to this ball club, coming off the bench or starting in one of those outfield spots.
He has drawn a 2-out walk, so the Rangers have the tying runs on base for Chris Jimenez, the catcher. And Simon pours in strike 1. Chris went down swinging his first time up. Jimenez, a couple of home runs, 8 driven in. Chris with his 10th start behind the plate here tonight. Rangers have gone 8-1 in his previous 9 starts. 0-2. Jimenez brought up from AAA Round Rock on the 31st of July. At AAA, he hit .243 with 6 home runs in 69 games. He's got Odor at second, Venable at first. 2 outs in the Ranger 5th inning. One ball and 2 strikes.
That pitch has a lot of run to it. That's the pitch he struck Elvis out on. Wow.
Probably not going to do much with that as a right-handed hitter if you start swinging at it.
You're going to probably be getting another bat. That's for sure. That's one thing for sure.
1-2. Came right back with it, got the strikeout. Well, the Rangers do get their first hit, an Odor double. They strand 2, a base hit and a walk. We played half the ball game. The Tigers lead the Rangers 2-0. Starting pitchers, our pitching matchup tomorrow will face Colby Lewis, who comes in at 13-5. He'll be opposed by the veteran right-hander Justin Verlander. Verlander off of a very good start his last time out, trying to get the ship righted. He is 1-5 this year. Have that ball game for you, 6 o'clock Central Time on Fox Sports Southwest. Ian Kinsler leading off the 5th inning for the Tigers. Kinsler 0 for 2, a ground out and a pop out tonight. Martin Perez with the pitch, and Kinsler rifles one to right center field. It is up the alley. Chu, a long run back. He can't get it. It is rolling to the wall, and Kinsler's not stopping at second. Here comes Odor's throw. Kinsler a head-first dive. He has a leadoff triple. Now you get the ball anywhere from right there around to left center field, you've got a good shot at 3 bases if you can run in this ballpark, and sometimes more.
Yeah, if it bangs around out there, you can definitely get close to it inside the Parker. Kent gets the ball down in the zone on the lower part of the outside part of the plate and drills this into right field. Chu almost there. Not much you can do after that ball hits the ground. Kent still can run, so an easy triple.
Well, Kinsler now at third with nobody out. Miguel Cabrera at the plate. Rangers will pull the infield all the way in. This a traditional all the way in, and that can't be a very comfortable spot with Miguel Cabrera hitting.
There's no question about it. This is not where you want to be in the infield, pulled in with Miguel Cabrera at the plate.
Cabrera has scored the only 2 runs of the night for the Tigers. He walked and scored in the first. He singled and scored in the third. Cabrera with 58 RBI. Martin Perez to him with a fastball. It's up the middle into center field. A base hit drives home Kinsler. Cabrera with the RBI. The Tigers lead it 3-0. Mac, and there's a great example of what you're talking about. The pitch inside, he didn't try to do anything more than hit it right back through the middle.
That's it. That's what great hitters do, especially in a situation like this. You've got the infield in. You get out there and try and pull it. You may roll it over to third base or shortstop. The run doesn't get in. But Miguel Cabrera, one of the best I've ever seen. He can recognize the situation, knows what he needs to do, knows what he's trying to do, and more times than not, he executes.
59 RBI. Spencer Patton loosening in that Ranger bullpen. Martin Perez now to 91 pitches as he goes to work on Victor Martinez. Martinez with a single and a double. So Victor now with that average right at 250. Cabrera, a very modest lead at first. And the pitch in the dirt. A ball and a strike. We mentioned the Tigers had fallen on hard times, but their offense lately has started to reassert itself, especially when they got Cabrera back once Victor Martinez regained his health. This is an entirely different offensive unit than what the Tigers had run out there without those 2 guys.
You know, you take those 2 guys out of this lineup, it's not going to be a very good lineup that's left, because it doesn't matter really who you put in there. They're not going to, you know, duplicate the production that the 2 of them do, especially Cabrera. And he's the guy who really drives this train. There are runners on, he's more than likely going to drive them in. Teams pitch around him. But when you've got Victor Martinez and J.D. Martinez right behind him, it makes it difficult.
And Victor Martinez down swinging as Martin Perez gets a big strikeout, 1 away, and here comes J.D. Martinez. And before J.D. Martinez steps in, let's send it back to Dana Larson for a Mazda game break. All right, Dana, thank you. Foul ball by J.D. Martinez. It is 0-1. J.D. has walked both times tonight that he has faced Martin Perez. Martin approaching the 100 pitch level. The next pitch will be his 97th of the night. They turn it over with Odor getting the ball from Andrews, and a 6-4-3. That'll do it for the Tigers. But the Kinsler leadoff triple And the Miguel Cabrera RBI single put another on the board. 3-0 Detroit. Time now for the Sonic Slam inning, brought to you by Sonic. Tonight's jackpot is worth $500 and dinner for two at Sonic Drive-In. If a Ranger hits a home run during this inning, Paula Wilbanks from Grapevine will win $500. And if a Ranger hits a grand slam this inning, Paula is going to win $25,000. You can register at any participating Sonic restaurant. At the top of the Ranger order, here in the sixth, Delano DeShields, Shin-Soo Choo, and Prince Fielder to face Alfredo Simon. Third time through the order, we'll see how the Rangers fare against the large right-hander out there. Delano has grounded to short and struck out tonight. Rangers with just one hit. That was a two-out double by Rougned Odor last inning. Man, that pitch low and outside. 2-0. Well, Delano trying to get something jump-started here in the sixth. Fly ball pretty well hit to left, but not going anywhere this evening. Rajai Davis handles it, out number one. Back, and that's something that at bat by DeShields, getting a hit in the count 2-0 and then flying out. Something we haven't seen him do, exhibit that a little bit of impatience there.
Right. In this situation, you're down 3 runs, you're leading off the inning. You want to make him work. You want to make him throw strikes. If it's 2-0, you want to make sure that ball is right down the middle of the plate if you're going to swing at it. That pitch is up in the zone, a little bit in, not the ideal pitch to swing at. So we really haven't seen much of that, bad decision making as far as, what pitches to swing at from Delano. He's done a tremendous job. That was one that he'll look back on and say, hey, maybe I should have probably taken that pitch in that situation.
Now, would somebody suggest that to him on the bench after he gets back there and kind of calms down a little bit, or is that just something that goes unsaid until after the ballgame?
It depends on the individual, really, how they handle it if somebody talks to him in game, and he's been here long enough that I'm sure Magadan knows, or one of the veterans, they know that, hey, maybe I'll wait till after the game, or he could be a guy where you can go over and say something right then.
I was specifically thinking about Prince. Prince is in the on-deck circle, but Fielder's kind of taken Delano under his wing. And now Dave Magadan talking to.
There it is.
Yeah, okay. There is the answer for us right there.
That's it. It's still a learning process for him. This is his first time in the major leagues, and definitely the first time leading off at this level. And it's different leading off in the big leagues or doing anything in the big leagues than it is at the minor league level, because there's so many things that come into play at the big league level that don't necessarily come into play in AA or AAA.
Mm-hmm. I mean, different situations that
different
things.
A pitcher 2-0, he's probably in AA or AAA, he's probably going to throw another ball, or he may throw that ball down, that pitch down the middle of the plate.
Right.
So you can you could pretty much work around that if you can. But at the major league level, Simon threw that pitch pretty much where he wanted to and got the out.
Yeah. Well, Chu draws the 1-out walk. That is the second walk issued by Alfredo Simon tonight. 1 on, 1 out, Prince fielder. And the crowd a little more enthusiastic in their cheering and their booing for Prince. Nice sign. Prince grounded to first in the first, popped out to the catcher in the fourth. That is out of play to the left. 0-1. Fielder came into the ballgame the league's leading hitter at .324. He is down a couple of points after an 0 for 2. And you say, well, what about Miguel Cabrera? Cabrera, because of his time on the disabled list, doesn't have enough at-bats, enough plate appearances to qualify for the leadership categories right now. He probably will before the end of the season. I think the standard is 3.1 plate appearances per game played for your team. Works out to about 502 for the entire year. 0-1 as Simon checks Chu at first. Now 0-2. Prince's last game here at Comerica Park. Hey, look at the hit leaders. Nelson Cruz and Prince Fielder and Ian Kinsler all right at the top with 146. Now Altuve with 143. What I was going to say is Fielder's last game here at Comerica Park was Game 5 of the American League Championship Series against the Red Sox back in 2013. That did not end well for Prince's Tiger team at that time. Into and out of the Tiger dugout. Still 0-2. Tiger infield shifted around to the right a few steps for Fielder. Shin-Soo Choo establishing his lead at first. Simon working the upper reaches of the strike zone and beyond to Fielder. Here's the scouting report that the Tigers have for Fielder based on what they saw of him for the 2 years he was here. Signed that big free agent contract coming from Milwaukee to the Tigers. Simon is ready to work. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Simon's definitely trying to work away and stay away from Prince, not wanting to come inside. You know, with a 3-run lead, a runner on base, it could be 3-2 very quickly.
Shin-Soo Choo with the 1-out walk is at first. Fielder waiting. Fielder, one of the top hitters in the American League, both against right-handed pitching and on the road this year. Pulled on the ground, foul. Victor Martinez ready to turn that into a quick double play, but the ball was signaled immediately foul by Brian Knight, first base umpire, and we'll come back and try it again.
Prince out front a little bit and just foul. Just what we need.
On the road this year, the highest average in the American League for Prince Fielder at .330. McCann flashing the signs out. Simon set to go. And one thing Alfredo Simon has shown tonight is a desire to keep every runner close no matter where they are or what the situation is. he really works on them. He had Odora at second base and ended up walking Venable when he tried to throw a spin move on him. Turned all the way to second base to freeze Odor to make sure he wasn't going to steal third. He's not going to steal third down by 3 runs.
You think it could be a case of, I don't really want to throw to the hitter?
Yeah. Yeah, that would be my feeling. You got to do it sometime. Martinez to second, a high throw. The throw back to first in time. And Jeff Bannister out of the dugout immediately. Now that, because the throw was not an accurate one at second, that is not considered a neighborhood play at second. And I think that's what Jeff Bannister is going out to make sure that the Tigers stay on the field. The neighborhood play at second, when there's a routine double play and the throw is accurate, you don't have to be in contact with the bag. But this was a throw that pulled the middle infielder off the bag. So you can review that. I think the Rangers are going to get Chu at second base. Even though the out is recorded at first, there'll be 2 outs and Chu at second. And clearly, on that one, Iglesias lost contact with the bag.
Yeah, I think you're right, Buzz. He was off the bag, not close. I think this should be an easy, quick call.
Ron Culpa, the crew chief and home plate umpire, along with Vic Carapazza, who made the call at second. Get the headsets on and check in with Replay Command Center back in New York. The official back there in charge of looking at the replays of this game. And the folks here at Comerica Park see a replay on the big screen that would appear to indicate that Iglesias had his toe on the bag when he caught the ball. But we have not been afforded that replay yet. It looked from the naked eye up here that there was no way he could have kept in contact with the bag.
No, I think we've got the call right. That's tough to stay on that bag when when the throw is up and away from you, unless you're 6'8".
Yeah, you don't find many shortstop second basemen at 6'8" or so. Although I'm sure that time is coming too.
At some point.
You didn't see many 6'4" shortstops 20 years ago. Now this is taking a little bit longer than I would have expected had it been a cut and dry call at second base.
Yeah.
So a little bit more to it than what I initially thought. Ron Culpa checking out what he's seeing on the scoreboard. Jeff Bannister to your right and Shin-Soo Choo on the left side.
He might be out. His left foot was on the base. I thought it was his right foot.
That's what I was looking at too. And we will have a decision. He is out at second base. So the replay confirmed that his left foot was in contact. That goes down as a 3-6-3 double play, and it ends the Rangers' 6th. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left after 5.5, and still 3-0 Detroit. Supply Park. And on Sunday, August 30th, the first 7,500 kids 13 and under will receive a Shin-Soo Choo blue batting helmet. That's sponsored by Dairy Queen. Head on over to TexasRangers.com or call 972-RANGERS to get your tickets. Now we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Martin Perez night has come to an end as far as his pitching exploits. Spencer Patton, the right-hander, on now to take over. Patton, 24 games under his belt. It's 7.66 ERA as he goes to work on Nick Castellanos. Martin Perez tonight, 5 innings of work, 6 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned runs. 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. 97 pitches tonight for Martin, 57 strikes, so not his best strike-to-ball ratio. 58%, and that's below what you would expect from Martin Perez, what he would expect from himself. Castellanos drove in the first 2 Detroit runs, one with a single in the first, one with a sacrifice fly in the 3rd inning. Going the other way, that is down the right field line, but it's slicing back into the seats. And it evens the count at 2-2. Castellanos hit that a long way going right down the opposite line.
It's a good thing it went foul.
Yeah. Last time we saw Spencer Patton on the hill, it was in the Tampa Bay series. Worked the 3rd of an inning, gave up a couple of runs and a couple of hits in that outing. Take it back, he worked the 3rd of an inning against the Mariners just 2 days ago. Slider is wide for ball 4. Castellanos draws the leadoff walk. Well, Spencer trying to get Castellanos to go after a pitch just out of the strike zone. He couldn't get him to do it. 1 on, nobody out for James McCann. McCann tonight has grounded out twice. Rookie catcher stepping in. That big offensive night last night for the Tigers in Chicago. He was 1 for 6. Patton got that fastball in on him. It's fouled back. McCann this year among American League rookies is 3rd with 78 hits and 23 multi-hit games. So he is stringing together some pretty impressive numbers. Tied for 4th with 16 doubles. Also tied for 6th with 115 total bases. Patton's 0-1. The bunt, and it's a good one. Beltre from down under throws and got it. Wow. Nice play by Beltre, who was playing back of the bag a bit. And he had to use all his guile and skill to make that play on McCann.
That was unbelievable. McCann thought he had a base hit there. I kind of thought he had a base hit because Beltre was back behind 3rd base, and here he comes, gets down, gets ready, and even at this point, I'm like thinking he can't make that play, and he does. Throws Mitch Moreland a strike over to first base. That's a great play. I love the way he gets himself in position to catch the ball on the next step and throw it. There aren't many guys that do it as well as Beltre does.
And you're right, there are not many guys that can make that play, period. I don't care how you would look at it or look doing it. What a play by Beltre. It goes down as a sacrifice for James McCann. And that is not your garden variety sacrifice. Castellanos out in scoring position now with 1 away. Jose Iglesias, a fly out and a ground out. And Patton misses low and outside. Iglesias a 3.08 average as he faces Spencer. Patton a couple of looks at second. 3-0 now. Iglesias trying to get aboard to join Castellanos. Iglesias, the number 8 hitter, to be followed by Anthony Gose. The 3-0. Right down the middle. Chris Jimenez making sure that Iglesias is not peeking back for any extra information. Inside corner at the knees.
We'll take that one. Yeah, Buzz, you were just talking about Jimenez looking at the hitter, making sure that he's not looking down and seeing where the location is. There are a lot of hitters that try to do that. A lot of times you'll see catchers as they're given that sign, they're looking up into that hitter's eyes to see what that hitter is looking at.
Out of play. And you'll find some catchers too that will set their targets, set their body for the target a little too soon, and the hitter will kind of look out of the corner of his eye to see if he can sense where the catcher's setting up.
You're right, and so catchers have to be a little. Well, they have to be good. They have to be smart.
Yeah.
Don't give it away too soon, because there are hitters that don't have to necessarily shift their eyes to see where you're setting up at.
Did you ever try to do that, to feel where the catcher was?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, that's it gives you an advantage, and then
sure.
You go back and you look at tapes and see where they were setting up, depending on who the pitcher is, what the count was. So you can really get into it and break it down, and if you can remember that when you get up to the plate, it definitely can help you.
The weakly hit ground ball. Beltre is going to make the tag at third. And thank you, Nick Castellanos. He runs right into the tag.
Thank you very much. I don't know what he was thinking on that one. Probably he thought Beltre was going to continue to run up and get that ball and not worry about him coming, but I guess he forgot that's Adrian Beltre.
Yeah.
I'm sure Beltre saw him coming and said, okay, let me just stop and tag him.
You say Adrian looked over at Elvis. Elvis said something to him, and Adrian said, I was surprised. That's like Christmas in August.
There's that communication. Yep. That's great.
Yeah, it takes a runner out of scoring position, gives you 2 outs, and Iglesias now at first. Anthony Gose up there. Gose struck out both times that he faced the starter Martin Perez. 1 ball, no strikes. Anthony Gose now a .257 average. 3-21, the power numbers. You put Jose Iglesias, who was at first, and Anthony Gose at the plate. You've got a lot of speed at the bottom of that Tiger order if you can harness their young abilities.
Well, not just at the bottom, and then you turn it over and you've got Rajai Davis right there at the top. Those 3 guys get going. Woo. Talk about a track meet.
You got 47 stolen bases between them. Goes a little tardy with the swing. 1-2 now.
I've known Rajai Davis for a long time, and guys that run like that, I always have a joke for them when they come to Texas. You do know there's a speed limit here in Texas. You've got to slow it down. They're pretty serious about that.
Now, there was a speed limit in Texas for a long time called Pudge Rodriguez.
Absolutely.
That clamped down on the speeders. Runner on the move. The pitch is swung on and missed, and that will do it. So a walk in the inning, 1 left for the Tigers. We're going to move on to the 7th inning. The Tigers lead the Rangers 3-0. A story of the Tigers, Nick Castellanos drove in the first one with a base hit to center field in the first inning. Rangers didn't have a hit until the fifth. Rougned Odor doubled off of the right-hander. And he was safe on that close play at second base. And then Miguel Cabrera, that man again, drives home the run in the fifth with a base hit through the middle. That has been the sum total of the scoring. 3-0 Detroit. As Alfredo Simon going to work in the seventh now to Adrian Beltre. And Beltre shoots one foul down the third baseline. It is 0-1. Beltre tonight has grounded to third and skied to center. .266 average for the Ranger third sacker. Rangers need some base runners. We haven't had an abundance of them tonight.
They need to get a few base runners out there, bunch a few hits together, and score about 5 runs.
There you go.
Let's just put it out there. That's what we need. That's what we want.
Okay.
Let's go.
Seventh inning. It's time to do that. 1-1 offering. Simon has been nibbling around the corners a lot of the night, and he has been very successful at it. Talked about his ability to change speeds, and he's changed speeds on everything tonight. Change speeds on the changeup, change speeds on the fastball, the breaking ball. 1-2 pitch to Beltre. Had him out in front on that. He pulled the string on the hook. Castellanos takes care of it for out number 1. And Mitch Moreland will be next. Well, we were just talking about Adrian Beltre and Miguel Cabrera. Look at the career ranks among active players. They both have 406 career home runs. 1,422 RBI for Adrian. He's 5th. 1,428 RBI for Cabrera is 4th. That's about as close as you can get for two guys who are playing the same field.
It doesn't get much closer than that.
No.
Two great players. Adrian Beltre winding down his Hall of Fame career, in my opinion. And Miguel Cabrera still adding numbers to his total.
Cabrera with that second RBI in the game against Chicago became the leader all time with RBI from a Venezuelan native, past Andres Galarraga. Moreland pops it up to the left side. Iglesias, the shortstop, the only one over there. And that is out number 2. Folks, there are just a handful of chances left this season to come out for Dollar Hot Dog Night at Globe Life Park. Your next opportunity to enjoy this ballpark tradition is Wednesday, August 26th. Head on out to Globe Life Park, cheer your Rangers on against the Toronto Blue Jays. Tickets are available at TexasRangers.com. Get some Dollar Dogs. We had Dollar Dog Day yesterday. Elvis looking for a fastball, didn't get it. 0-1. Want to pass along a big hello. Jim and Otisia Prater from Carrollton are vacationing in the Northeast, out here backing their Rangers. They wanted to say hello to the family back in Dallas, especially grandsons Tyler and Bryce. Appreciate you all passing it along to us. 1-1 to Elvis. Andrews has lined sharply to left field and struck out. Two balls and a strike. Let's take a look at our Kubota power stats. Alfredo Simon tonight, a very good evening so far. 6 2/3, just 1 hit. He has shut out the Rangers with a couple of walks, 5 strikeouts, 7 ground ball outs, but he's been impressive the way he's been able to keep the Ranger hitters off of a consistent approach to hitting him. He hasn't really given him anything to build their case on.
No, he really hasn't. He's worked inside, he's worked outside, off speed, and changing speeds on his off speed, changing speeds on his fastball. So he's done a really good job tonight keeping this offense down to this point. You know, I think that's the big battle for hitters. When you've got a pitcher out there that can change speeds on certain pitches, and that one pitch isn't the same speed every time.
Right.
Makes it really difficult. You see a curveball. Oh, I saw that a couple innings ago, but this is a slower curveball.
That's right. Castellanos gobbles that up across the diamond, and the Rangers once again are down in order. 3 up and 3 away. We'll take the stretch at Comerica Park with the hometown Tigers leading the Rangers 3-0. First of 4 here in Detroit, a very quick road trip. Then it's back home on Monday for an off day. Then Toronto comes in. It'll be a very interesting homestand with the Blue Jays for 3, followed by the Baltimore Orioles. Both those teams right at the top of the wild card race along with the Rangers. Then it's back on the road. The last long road trip for the Rangers going to San Diego to finish off the month of August. On to LA and Seattle on that same trip. Bottom of the 7th inning, Anthony Bass has come out of the Ranger bullpen to take over. Bass appearing in his 28th ball game. Last time we saw Anthony, he was doing long relief work in Minneapolis up against the Twins. Worked 3 innings back on the 12th. So Jeff Bannister getting him into a ball game. First time that Anthony's been out there in 8 days. Top of the order, and Rajai Davis greets Anthony Bass with a solid base hit. He's going for 2. The throw from DeShields and out or into second base. I thought for a second there Vic Carapazza was ringing that right hand up, but Rajai Davis in under the throw and tag. Well, there's that speed, Mac, you were talking about.
Yes, he can absolutely fly. And he made that double right out of the box. As soon as he hit it, that ball's in the left center field. Delino's coming over. He got there as quick as he could possibly get there. Came up, firing. He had a pretty good idea that he was going to go. And if that throw is down a little bit, you probably get Davis there. But, man, he can go. See Odor back behind the bag because the throw was high, so he had to get where he could in order to catch it.
Now that is the 7th Tiger hit of the night, the first for Rajai Davis. Here's Ian Kinsler with Davis at second and nobody out. Kinsler led off the 5th inning by tripling to right center field. Anthony Bass trying to make sure Kinsler doesn't have an easy pitch to hit the ball to the right side. Misses down and in. Kinsler at .305 for the year. You mentioned he has been one of the hottest Tiger hitters. See the Ranger defense. Mitch Moreland kind of sneaking in at first besides being off the line. Kinsler, a check swing. It's 2 balls, no strikes.
You know, and I really wouldn't be surprised, Buzz, if Davis tries to steal third here in this situation. He's, you know, typically you don't do that with nobody out, but as fast as he is, he just might try it. It wouldn't surprise me one bit.
We will keep an eye on that. Hopefully Anthony Bass will. He was thinking about it right there.
Yes, he was.
And the throw back to second with Elvis diving in there almost got Davis leading the wrong way.
Well, that's a good job by Bass by varying his looks to second base and his time going to home once he looks at second base. Saw Davis jump off there because he had him time from the previous pitch. Almost got him.
So 2 balls, no strikes to count. Davis resuming his lead out at second, right there at the bottom of your screen. Kinsler waiting. 1 for 3 tonight. Down ball deep in the hole. Elvis up and throwing. Davis is going to try to go to third. The throw by Moreland, and Adrian can't hang on to it. It was in the dirt, so Davis slides in safely. If that throw is accurate, up a little bit to where Adrian doesn't have to short hop it, Mitch has got himself another assist.
Yeah, Mitch had to rush on that one and just got the throw down, bounced and short hop Adrian, and he just couldn't pick that one. But you see the speed of Davis. Davis is 2 or 3 feet from second base, and he just takes off. He goes back just a little bit, maybe about 5 feet, takes off. Mitch comes off, gives a nice strong throw, but short hopped it, and AB couldn't hang on to it. Fortunately, he kept it from getting by and keeping Davis from scoring.
No, Davis at third, 1 out. The Rangers aren't even going to mess with Miguel Cabrera, and rightfully so.
Smart move.
Yeah. Cabrera, who is 2 for 2 tonight. As you get another look at that play at third. This will be Cabrera's second walk, the first intentional walk for Cabrera this evening. Miguel also had a couple of singles and an RBI. But they will set up the double play possibility, and they will face the cleanup man, Victor Martinez. And the fourth wide one allows Cabrera to drop the bat, head on down to first, and Mike Maddox will take an opportunity to come out to the mound and discuss how he would like things set up. And while Mike is going out, let's take time to send it back to Dana Larson for a Mazda game break. All right, Dana, thank you. You know, Mike's still talking to Anthony Bass and Chris Jimenez, see what they can come up with. Victor Martinez has been tough tonight. He is 2 for 3, but the first 3 at-bats have all been as a right-handed hitter. We told you that Victor Martinez this year much, much better from the right side of the plate than he is from the left side. Martinez hitting well over 360 now as a right-handed hitter. Left-handed, just 213. Well, we'll see if that can play right into the Rangers' hands here. See if they can get a double play, get out of this inning without any run scoring. Rajai Davis at third, Miguel Cabrera at first. 1 ball, no strikes. The Tigers, most prolific hitting into double plays this year. 115 times they have hit into double plays. Certainly reason for optimism. Victor Martinez 1 for 1 in his career against Anthony Bass. And then he rips that pitch foul outside the bag. 1 ball and 1 strike. Anthony back on top. That pitching rubber, he is pitching in his hometown. Anthony from the Detroit area. Went to Wayne State University here in Detroit. A ball and a strike as he sets. One and two. A guy like Victor Martinez, you really see the wheels turning on before every pitch. And he is grinding what he has seen, what he expects to see, what he wants to try and do with it.
You know, he's what you call a professional hitter. There's not much that he doesn't remember about an at bat. He's a lot like Miguel Cabrera. They know what a hitter or what a pitcher is trying to do to him in any given situation.
Now Bass set again. In the dirt, Chris Jimenez keeping it near enough home plate to prevent Miguel Cabrera from advancing. And the pressure on you a little bit too with a guy like Rajai Davis down at third. You may be able to block a ball that would normally not allow someone to advance, but Davis with his great speed and anticipation can maybe score on one that doesn't get very far from home plate.
Yeah, that's a different set of wheels down there at third base that you definitely have to be concerned about. It doesn't have to get, you know, much off that dirt, in my opinion, for Davis to score from third base. Great base runner.
The 2-2 is coming. In the air to right center field. Hugh going over. DeShields makes the catch. Davis tagging from third will score. And the sacrifice fly by Victor Martinez makes it a 4-0 Tiger lead. You know, Victor Martinez, again, getting a pitch that he can drive to the outfield in the air, and he did just that. Drove in his 53rd run of the year.
Well, this is a professional hitter. You got to pitch up in the zone, and that's what you want in this situation. He doesn't want to hit a ground ball here. He wants a fly ball to the outfield. Got up there, got underneath it enough, got it deep enough, and got the job done.
The Tigers have scored in every other inning tonight. 1 run in the first, in the third, in the fifth, now in the 7th. J.D. Martinez, 0 for 1 officially. Martinez drew walks his first 2 times up tonight. Last time up in the 5th, grounded into a big double play. Average at 288 for the Tigers right fielder. A ball and a strike to count. Anthony Bass, the third pitcher used tonight by Jeff Bannister, following the starter Martin Perez and Spencer Patton. Check swing, no swing, according to Brian Knight down at first. 2-1. Patton nods in agreement. Check at first. Cabrera standing almost on top of the bag. High in the air to deep right center, but that is Yellowstone Park out there with its vast spaces. That will do it. But the Tigers add on. They get a run on 1 hit and leave 1. After 7, it's now the Tigers 4 and the Rangers nothing. Longest fan selection. All you folks that have tweeted in your photos, we appreciate it. And our selection for tonight comes to us from Mike. Mike, we appreciate that very much. And folks, continue to send in your photos. Just use hashtag Southwest Data Strong Fan. Your photo might be selected to be aired during one of our upcoming broadcasts like Mike's did tonight. It's all brought to you by the good folks at T-Mobile. Bottom third of the Ranger order to face Alfredo Simon here in the 8th inning. Rougned Odor, who has the only Ranger hit of the night, off of Simon. That was a 2-out double in the 5th inning. We'll start things off. 1 ball and no strikes. Rougned a .277 average as he comes to bat for his 3rd time tonight. And high and away, 2-0.
You know, Buzz, it's kind of surprising we've only got 1 hit. It seems like we've had a little bit of traffic going out there on the base paths.
Yeah, it's been 1 hit and 2 walks tonight in an error. And that's been it.
Wow. Well, we've definitely hit some balls hard, that's for sure.
Yeah. And that may be what is kind of misleading to us about the whole thing. Now, Rougned coming off a homestand that saw him hit .286. He went 6 for 21. Simon's 2-1 pitch. And that is in at the knees. 2-2. That's one of the few pitches that Simon has gotten a fastball down at the bottom of the strike zone tonight.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things, well, I know that's one of the things that bothers hitters. He's been calling the high pitch, and then you call the low pitch. That's pretty much the bottom of the zone, and the other strike was at the top of the zone.
Well, that ball's ripped to center, but Ghost got a good break on it, makes the catch. Another one of those, Mac, that hits right on the nose and come up empty.
Atom balls. Got to get the guys a little bit of a little compass or something.
Yeah. Orsolani and Wilson. Orsolani, the left-hander, loosening in that Tiger bullpen. Tigers, by the way, have had to undergo extensive changes in their pitching staff the last several days. The bullpen's been revamped. They have 9 guys listed down there as relievers now, and I don't think the last time I can have seen a 9-man bullpen.
Kind of a lot.
Yeah. Venable pops one up into foul territory. That will be back and out of play. But today they announced, the Tigers did, they had to put Daniel Norris and Anibal Sanchez on the disabled list. Sanchez sounded a little bit worrisome because he's got a strain of the rotator cuff. And he was supposed to pitch against the Rangers this weekend. Obviously, he will not. Tigers signed Randy Wolf from the Toronto Blue Jays to pitch on Saturday. Rajai Davis takes care of Venable's fly ball. That's out number 2. The Tigers had a game on Tuesday night in Chicago where they had to go through most of their bullpen, and the only pitcher that did not come out of the bullpen to pitch on Tuesday was Neftali Feliz, who came in last night. So they had to opt for a few fresh arms down there.
Yeah, you can see how just one game can really throw things out of whack for you. It was starting to look that way tonight with Martin Perez in that first inning.
Chris Jimenez goes after the first pitch and pops it up, and Castellanos in foul ground makes the grab, as Alfredo Simon now with 103 pitches has gone through 8 innings. 1 hit shutout baseball will go to the bottom of the 8th, 4-0 Detroit.
Tigers on a lovely night for baseball at Comerica Park. Game 1 of a 4-game series here, and Game 2 will be tomorrow night at this same venue against the same team tomorrow night. And there you see a couple of the principals in that one. Prince Fielder and Ian Kinsler, two guys who were traded for one another, and, of course, two guys who are the top hitters in the league. Prince talked a lot about that trade today because it's technically his first trip back to Detroit, but says it might have meant more to him if he had made the trip last year. He didn't, of course. He was actually having surgery last May when the Rangers were here playing the Tigers, when what would have been his first trip back after the trade, guys.
All right, John, thank you. Prince, much better off making the trade. Making the trip down here a year after having surgery.
Yeah. I think there's still some people that may not be happy with it.
Yeah. We mentioned his last game here was that the playoff game in 2013, and it sounded like Prince ruffled a few feathers by not coming out and crying publicly about how difficult a loss it was. He's not that kind of a personality.
No, he's just not. That's just not. That's not who he is.
Beltre takes care of his counterpart. Nick Castellanos went away. And you can understand, though, I guess, Tiger fans were upset about the loss, about not making it any further in the playoffs. And they felt that because Prince seemingly didn't care, that was exactly how he was supposed to react. And that's too bad.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you look at his track record and what he did the 2 years that he was here, and you can go back and look and see how many games he missed in those 2 years.
Yeah.
And there's a big reason, or he's one of the big reasons they even got to that point.
Which I believe was 0, right?
Yeah.
I don't think he missed any.
He did not.
James McCann, the catcher, up for his 4th at bat. He's 0 for 2 officially, had a sacrifice bunt. Actually, he was bunting for a base hit, but Beltre helped him earn a sacrifice by making a great play. Takes a strike to even the count, or make it 0-2. Sorry. Well, Anthony Bass, who gave up a double to Rajai Davis, the first hitter that he faced, and Davis eventually came on to score. And last inning, a Victor Martinez sacrifice fly. Just a little high. Anthony throwing that one all the way to the backstop. Every once in a while, you just got to let it go and see what happens.
You do. I like seeing pitchers do that.
Yeah.
But only when I'm not in the box. It can be a little unsettling when it's 0-2 and you see one go over everybody's head.
Yeah. Got him, and then he'd come back with a slider and a teacup on the outside.
There you go.
That is out number 2, first strikeout. Well, folks, watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in true HD on over 400 mobile and connected devices with MLB.TV Premium. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking widget, and a lot more. Every night on every device, blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. 2 away, here's Jose Iglesias. He takes a strike. Iglesias 0 for 3. He's flied out and grounded out a couple of times. Hits this one well to left field. On the run, Venable toward the line, makes the catch. Venable showing you some pretty good closing speed. And Anthony Bass has a 1-2-3 8th inning. Tigers out in the 8th. We will go to the 9th inning. Rangers trailing by 4. out for them. They are facing a guy in Alfredo Simon who's allowed just one hit. That was a fifth inning double by Rougned Odor. The big right-hander has pretty much had his way tonight with the Rangers. He'll face the top of the order here in the ninth inning. Delino to Shields 0 for 3 with a ground out, a fly out, and a strikeout. Strike one. Simon does not have a complete game in his major league career. Obviously no shutouts in his major league career. Working on a one-hitter. Pitch number 106. Ground ball snagged by the new third baseman Romine. He scrambles up and throws out to Shields. Wow. Andrew Romine just in the ball game for defensive purposes, and the ball found him.
And that's why. As soon as you get out there, it finds you.
Our AT&T U-verse Rewind will take you back. Alfredo Simon tonight has been outstanding. Rangers have not been able to do anything with him. He had 5 strikeouts this evening, and well, he has been tough. Again, changing speeds at will on all of his pitches, and just hasn't really given the Rangers much to work with.
No, he hasn't left much out over the middle of the plate at all. The Rangers have, 4 or 5 hard hit balls, but unfortunately they're right at somebody.
And then you get defense by the new guy.
And this could have started something here with the leadoff hitter getting on at top of the order. Then the big boys coming up behind him. But I guess that's why Ausmus made the move.
Timing's everything, right?
It is.
Chu takes a pitch high. Shin-Soo Choo 0 for 2 officially. He walked his last time up. Flied out in each of his first 2 at-bats. Rangers had 1 base runner prior to the 5th inning. That was an error on a ground ball by Mitch Moore that allowed him to reach. That's down at the shoe tops, and the count goes to 2-1. Then Odor's 2-out double in the 5th. That was followed by Will Venable's walk. Rangers had another walk in the 6th, but that was immediately erased. That was Chu getting the walk. And Prince Fielder grounded into a double play. And that has been it. The 2-1 pitch. Backing up, Victor Martinez knocks it down, can't find the handle on it, and Chu is going to be aboard on the error. Now, as soon as Victor Martinez started backing up to get the good hop, there was potential for trouble, and he found it.
Yeah, he got himself caught in between hops, and what I mean by that, if you get back, you can get a high hop, but that ball's the last hop it took. It stayed down, and that kind of surprised him, and that took care of that. Couldn't find the handle on it. That's really the only chance he had going back. He didn't have enough time to come in to react on it. But if you're going to do one or the other, I'd prefer to charge the ball, because then you can get a shorter hop than going back.
No, 1 on, 1 out. Second error committed by the Tigers tonight in support of Alfredo Simon. And Prince Fielder takes ball 1 down and in. Fielder 0 for 3. He's grounded out twice, popped out. One of those ground outs into a double play. .322 average for the Ranger DH. Simon a check to first. Chu not being held on. Line drive right at Kinsler. And he was going to make the throw to first base to get Chu and dropped it. And immediately the second base umpire, Vic Carapazza, sprung up the fist. So that is out number 2.
Another hard hit ball right at somebody. That was Simon's 112th pitch. That's season high with 112. The previous was 111.
And now the crowd, most of the 33,727 on their feet at Comerica Park. They are cheering Alfredo Simon, who is 1 out away from having a 1-hit complete game shutout against the Rangers. Adrian Beltre stands between Simon and that aforementioned shutout. He takes ball 1. Beltre has grounded out, flied out, and popped out. Simon peering in for the signs. Beltre waiting. Chu going to second as Beltre goes up over his head after one. Beltre has swung at more pitches in that general area in the last 3 or 4 days than I can ever remember.
You're absolutely right. This pitch is over everybody. And trying to tomahawk it, he saw Chu on the run, so the only thing I can think of, he's trying to hit that hole over there with Chu on the move. But that was just a little too high. He doesn't have a ladder that tall.
Breaking ball hangs inside to him. It's now 2-1. You'd have to be about 6'10" and then have a ladder on top of that to reach that pitch. Chu, by the way, advanced on defensive indifference by the Tigers. No stolen base. 2-1 to Beltre with 2 outs. Simon to the plate. Up the middle, Iglesias near the bag, throws to first, and that it'll do it. Alfredo Simon with his first Major League complete game shutout. First Major League complete game of any type. He shuts out the Rangers on just